But the times really are a-changin'.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Davis. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful and I'm blown away by what Cox is doing. I'm Zac Bookman. I'm co-founder and CEO of OpenGov. We are a software company focused on state and local governments in the United States. That's me riding my bicycle across the country. We called the trip OpenGov Across America, and I cycled from the San Francisco Bay to the Chesapeake Bay, meeting customers, thanking them for their hard work, and evangelizing our mission to power more effective and accountable government. If you're like some of the venture capitalists that I raised money from a long time ago, you might be saying to yourself, who's this crazy guy, and why does he want to go hang out with governments? But for me, it's personal. My father was a civil servant at the National Academy of Sciences in Washington, D.C. I was an entrepreneur from a young age with a lawn mowing business in Maryland, like many young people. But I studied government in college. I went to law school. I did a master's degree in public administration. And after grad school, I went to Mexico. And I studied transparency and corruption in the Mexican government on a Fulbright fellowship. I was a law clerk for a federal judge and then a trial litigator for a couple of years in San Francisco before going overseas to Afghanistan. I served as an advisor to U.S. Army General H.R. McMaster on the Anti-Corruption Task Force. And we started OpenGov while I was living in half a shipping container with 2 soldiers in Kabul. My co-founders were Stanford technologists. You get some shots there. We left the shipping container out. It was a little grungy in there. My co-founders were Stanford technologists, and we had been studying the California budget crisis in the aftermath of the Great Recession. Some of you may remember 3 cities went bankrupt. 12 were predicted to go bankrupt in 2012. And we were wondering, how the heck can a government hit the proverbial wall like a startup? And where are our tax dollars going to go for the next 50 years? So we started talking to the city of Palo Alto in the heart of Silicon Valley. And we said, give us your budget data, and we'll help you leverage the cloud and drill into it and see trends. And they said, wow, that sounds useful. How do we get you our budget data? And we were like, you're the budget director. Just send it over. And they said, come sit with us. Look what we're dealing with. We did, and we learned that they had paid $10 million to a German software conglomerate for an ERP system that was delivered on 20 disks and had green screens. The state of California at the time was using an accounting system that ran on COBOL, the programming language most popular in the 1960s. We said we have to do something. We were naive, a little courageous, and we started OpenGov with a vision to bring the cloud to government, to make it more transparent, more resilient, more strategic, more responsive to the boards and residents, and effective and accountable. It's been almost 11 years of grinding and making mistakes and building, from a transparency application to a reporting platform, and now leadership in budgeting, permitting, procurement. We're building a financial management system to anchor this whole modern cloud ERP. And with Cox's support, we're now the leader in asset management, which is how a government tracks with GIS all the roads and streets, sewers, lights, sidewalks, buildings, and then maintains the millions or billions of dollars of public infrastructure. We're now almost 700 people. We're over 100 million in revenue. We serve more than 1,700 governments across the country, and we're one of the fastest growing companies in our corner of the world. The coolest thing about it all is we're just getting started. There's so much valuable software to build, and there are thousands upon thousands of cities, counties, school districts, special districts, and state agencies that need to modernize. It's fulfilling to hear feedback and stories from our customers, like York, Pennsylvania, where a vandal smashed in the front door of City Hall, snuck into the basement under cover of darkness, and poured a bucket of water on the city's server, frying their software. On its knees and shut down, the city called OpenGov, and we had them stood up 48 hours later so they could budget and keep operations going. Or the city in Texas that was one of 19 hit by a ransomware attack. 18 of those cities were shut down for days or weeks and the one OpenGov customer fortunately had their data in the cloud so we could stand them back up the next day. For us at OpenGov, we want to build a big business. But we also want to go home in 5 or 10 years and tell our parents, look what we did for our country and our communities. And what's amazing about partnering with Cox is that mission drive is at the roots of your company. Your founder was a governor devoted to improving government and society, and your first businesses were newspapers devoted to open, transparent, and accountable government. So it's a tremendous honor for me to be here with you today, given so much shared vision and values. And I hope I get to meet more of you, and I can't wait to see what we can do together. Thank you.